So if you're taking a look at automotive technology and we choose to eliminate the engine from the equation and the body and most of the parts that they typically look at, we start to ignore the whole petroleum industry argument, the whole conspiracy theory, which is less of a theory and more of a practical fact. And yes, there's a lot of money in petroleum and a lot of big companies invested in the technology that are absolutely not going to get out of the picture or make it easy for anybody else trying to get into it, or for any other existing companies to make changes for that matter. This is a very real fact. Whether we choose to call them a mafia, that's a whole other matter. But they're real, and there's no joke, no urban legend, no theory, no conspiracy theory to it. It's all fact. So ignoring those idiots and moving on to the next step. I have no argument to petroleum function in an engine any more than I would say they need to get out of the industry. But I'm going to ask them to step aside for a moment. Their egos are a little too big for the room. So where do we go from here to make a vehicle more fuel efficient? What can we do to fix a vehicle and make it more effective on the road? Well, any of you that have actually ever ridden a bike, you are well aware that your bike has anywhere between 7 to 36 gears. It does this to help make more efficient use out of your two tiny little legs, which don't have very much horsepower compared to your engine. Your engine probably runs a couple hundred times the amount of power that your tiny little legs can output. Your body could not hope to sustain the amount of energy output that a few drops of gasoline can do inside of a multi-cylinder engine, or a turbine, or any other design, rotary engine. An engine is an engine. It's designed to do power, and do it very well. So where do you put that power? Well, our crude transmissions in most vehicles, and in fact I'll bet right now you have a 4-step transmission right now. Your vehicle has 4 gears inside of it. Now, your engine is a hell of a lot more powerful than you are. So why doesn't your transmission take advantage of that? I don't think that we need a transmission that is made out of ceramic materials or flimsy, lightweight aluminum parts. I'd like to see something fairly heavy-duty, nice, solid-built transmission. Yes, it's going to be heavy, but it needs to be well-built because it's going to take a little bit of abuse, and because it's probably going to be poorly cared for by its users, by you out there, and because it's probably going to be on the road for a few years without any maintenance, any service. But here's the problem. It's got 4 gears. So what we need to address is why only some prototype sports vehicles and a few odds and end automotive companies out there have ever tinkered with a transmission that had more than 5 gears. Your 5th gear is an automatic overdrive that most of you may or may not realize you have no way of shifting into. The vehicle does this automatically at highway speeds, but when you're at highway speeds, your engine goes up into a higher RPM, even though it doesn't really need to. And it does this because it has no choice. This is the only way that it can maintain. It's the ratio that's maintained with that additional gear. You're not idling your engine like you could be. If you had 36 gears inside of your transmission, like you have 36 gears on your bike, your engine could probably run at a much lower RPM, maybe as low as 500 RPM, and still turn your wheels quite easily. Okay, so what else can we do to make your vehicle more efficient?